What up, team? It's your boy, Painful P here, and after basically 2 months of endless suffering, I am here with a little bit of break between academics. It's about to be reading break, but I got the flu about 3 days ago, slept for 48 hours. As per government regulation,
I need to isolate.
Shut up. But anyway, I'll take the free time that I get, and I'll treat it wisely by making a YouTube video that no one will watch. And speaking of that, yeah, this is the 3rd year in a row I'm making this. Last year I put a lot of effort into it, had a little animated dude on my shoulder, had some fun times, and that thing fucking flopped. So, we'll put less effort into it this year, because in reality it's just a platform for me to talk about music, so... Boo! Another Pook's music video. Go get drunk in a university and fucking record it. I mean, I can, and I have tons of footage, but we'll wait a little bit. That being said, let's start with the meh. And starting off with meh is Anders Honest. I couldn't fucking tell you a single song off this project. It's only meh because I thought it was going to be like better, and it just wasn't anything. So that's why it's meh. Next is Drake's Certified Lover Boy, and Buddy just reeled it in and got tons of streams. So you're getting played. I don't know why you're listening to this guy who obviously it's lifeless, his music at this point. That's my opinion. Next is J.Cole's The Off Season, and it's a different type of pain with Drake than with Drake. I don't know. I just haven't seen a single soul talk about J.Cole's The Off Season since it dropped, and I think that speaks numbers. In a similar vein to meh, things that I really didn't listen to, but this time I wish I did. We got Dave's We're All Alone in This Together. I think there's a song where he just doesn't he cuts the beat and raps, and that shit went hard, and I kind of wish I re-listened to the project, but I got blown away, carried away with other projects, yada yada yada. Next is Vince Staples' self-titled album, Vince Staples. I liked the first few tracks of this, but unfortunately for Vince Staples, I'm pretty sure Tyler the Creator's project was released sometime around this, and I just, distracted. And finally, only for 2021, I would say Little Sims, Sometimes I Might Be Introvert. I really didn't listen to this project until December 28th. That's how late in the year. I was mad late. I had the album hearted or something, but I just did not get around to listening to it way too late. We'll get into that later though. This is a bit of a weird one, but I want to talk about projects that I found in 2021 that aren't from 2021 that I think are worth talking about. So, first up would be Warren Hughes' Sugartown, a nice little summery pop project that kind of lasts like cotton candy. It's really quick, it's sweet, and it's over. Just like that. David T. Walker's On Love, which the intro track is infamously sampled in The Alchemist and Freddie Gibbs' song Something to Rap About featuring Tyler the Creator. That's the reason I know the project, more so just the first song, but that got me into the entire project, which is a banger. Play this when you're making love to your loved ones. And finally, what I would call the best find of this year, not from this year, Hiroshi Sato's Awakening. Just like a mix of nice, chill R&B, poppy, Japanese funk fusion, and atmospheric music. I don't even have to say more. Just listen to the intro track, wait for the last 30 seconds, and then feel yourself ascend. We're gonna talk about the funkiest projects this year because it's your boy, and I like my funk. So, I don't want to see anyone mad at this one, but Blast's No Love Lost Deluxe, which came out in 2020, December, but I'm going to count it as 2021 since I didn't hear it till then. Just a nice mix of West Coast and R&B. Just give it a listen. Honestly, listen to this background track. Damn! Next up, we got Easy Life, Life's a Beach, which is, I think they're UK funk, Euro funk, something like that, I would call. They just have such a nice pace to their music, something fun and exciting and almost childish. Just give it a listen. It's short, it's easy. And finally, L'Impératrice, or Empress in French, Takosubo, which is this really sweet project that I don't even want to talk about. I just kind of want you to dive in when you have something kind of chill to do in the evening. Trust me, you might fuck with this heavily, or you might think it's whack. But anyway, we're going to talk about the most underrated projects of the year, and this is kind of my opinion and a little bit of whatever I see outside, but We're gonna start with Tyler the Creator's Call Me If You Get Lost, and this is considered underrated because I personally, and what it seemed like most fans, really didn't enjoy this project on the first listen through. Moving on, another underrated project would be Joyce Wright's Overgrown. I kind of just like didn't really listen to this project, but I always had it around me, so sometimes I would tap in, tap out. It has just a sick collaboration list, just a sick mix of names, so there's definitely a connection you can make to someone and use that to get like gateway into that project and give it a listen. It's a good R&B project. And finally, Shelly FKA Drum's self-titled project, Shelly FKA Drum, which is this beautiful masterpiece of a R&B album, just extremely intimate and full of these sexual questions that are not just horny, but almost introspective. I'm calling this underrated because I listened to this while I was in lockdown in Halifax on isolation. So imagine listening to one project for 14 days, just left that box, and I didn't come back to that album either until like December. So the most fun projects that I thought, and Parker, what do you define as fun? Well, let's just let the third in this list speak for itself. So the third most fun project this year was the unofficial Wii Sports soundtrack by Gabriel Gundaka. I feel like I don't have to say anything after that. It's literally a Wii Sports soundtrack, an unofficial Wii Sports soundtrack. How the fuck do you come up with that shit? Anywho, next up, number 2 would be Silk Sonic's An Evening with Silk Sonic, and I just want to bring up an example. In the song After Last Night, Bruno Mars talks about throwing his phone out the window because he's not a player anymore. He's got no more player in him. He then calls back to this moment in the second verse and says, "If I still have my phone, I'd call every girl that I know and tell them goodbye." Not just the fact that it's consistent, but in such a playful nature, and you can almost just imagine Bruno Mars just like super dramatic. Whatever. It's fun. It's so much fun. Look at this clip.
Not to be dramatic, but I wanna die. This bitch is on her wrist, and here I am all alone.
And finally, Tyler the Creator's Call Me If You Get Lost, which, I mean, if you know Tyler the Creator, you know this man. He can somehow infuse like joy with like serious, thought, which is such a cool concept. We're not even talking about the fact that the entire project is just a big fuck you, I got money, which is probably the most fun thing you can do. This album inspired me to blow all my savings in Halifax this summer, so fun. Here come the big ones. The best EP of the year 2021. First one, Lucky Day, A Table for Two. Really nice R&B project, little EP. It has a couple staple names that you might know. Definitely give it a listen, nice and short. Next up, we got Ginger Root's City Slicker, which is this amazing little poppy album. Super quick, super light, super enjoyable. The song Loretta just stole my heart. It's a consistent project. And finally, Disco Rick in London Town, Rick Wilson and Yellow Days, which I didn't know Rick Wilson until then. I know Yellow Days, and this project is weird. Rick Wilson is such a good performer. I saw him live. I'm just gonna say that right now. Now we're gonna avoid the whole live, watching them perform live. Just the project itself is just so enjoyable. Just, if you're not used to Yellow Days, then you might get thrown off by the jarring vocals and just kind of the weird tone of everything. But I assure you, this is one of the most enjoyable projects you can listen to. Even if you're not stoned. Honorable mentions, because there's a few projects I haven't mentioned yet and I know you might want me to talk about. So we got Lawrence's Hotel TV. That's just because I have a soft spot in my heart for Lawrence. I love the last two projects. I would consider this the trilogy, the cap of the trilogy, and it is consistent with the last two projects they put out. Much love, Lawrence. Next up, in a very, I don't want to say outspoken, but it kind of is. It's just FKJ's Just Piano album, which is just the piano. And it is beautiful, and it will set the atmosphere for anything that you ever want. I feel like you want me to talk about this one, but Kanye West's Donda, not Donda Deluxe, not Donda 2, we're talking Donda. I mean, we could talk Donda Deluxe, but like there's only 6 songs, and okay, fair. There's the Andre 3000 song on that. I like that song, but for the most part, I hate to say it, but I'm gonna compare Kanye to Drake because they were compared at the time of the fucking releases. But when it comes to Drake, I said it was reeled in and boring. At least Kanye, you know, even if he's going crazy, you know, you're saying it's all over the place. You cannot lie to my face and tell me that Donda is not more enjoyable or at least exciting than Certified Lover Boy. We talked about the honorable mentions, we talked about the EPs. Let's just wrap this up. Best composition, aka one of my favorite albums of the year. We'll just basically call it that, but it's basically composition since, you know, that ties everything together. Number 3, we got Silk Sonic, An Evening with Silk Sonic. And just the fact that Thundercat's on this, we got Bootsy Collins, we got some of the funkiest names in the game, we got the best teeth in the game, Anderson .Paak. We got our boy Bruno Mars, who sniped that one Grammy from Kendrick back in the day, but still, you know, with all these quadruple, quintuple A stars stacked up, it is hard to not just enjoy this project. I think the main reason this thing's up here is because it somehow ties 70s, soul, 80s, and the mainstream music. It just brings it so well together. It's just nice to see that kind of, that R&B soul uprising once again. And I know it's not going to last long, but maybe Silk Sonic 2 will release, or maybe Silk Sonic Deluxe. Next up, we got Little Sims, Sometimes I Might Be Introvert, and although I didn't listen to this project in 2021, if you look at the time, it's about March in 2022. So, I had plenty of time to listen to it, and I'm not gonna lie, this thing fucking is insane. Oh my god. You could not, some of the best conscious rap albums out there would be belittled to this project. This project has interludes that slap. Interludes that feel like full-on Disney productions. I'm not gonna lie to you. I legit cry, tear up when I hear some of these ones. They're just so powerful. Such a beautiful, you know, message sent through these. And, you know, aside from the fact that these interludes are fantastic, the whole project itself is, you know, can carry its own weight. It doesn't need these interludes at all. Each song is just filled with, like, deep emotional thoughts, you know, conclusions that she's made, relationships that she's had to deal with, and things she's had to deal with in the past, tragedy, trauma, heartbreak, all get captured in this conscious UK rap in just such a nice fucking format. If you haven't listened to this project and you like rap, go listen to it. Simple as that. And finally, Tyler the Creator's Call Me If You Get Lost. Best composition. Why do I think it's the best composition? I think it's because Tyler can just seamlessly throw whatever the fuck he wants in his music, and it just sounds fantastic. The interludes and the beginnings and just the empty spaces between songs are filled with these beautiful motifs that Tyler just curates. It almost makes me want just like a background score, like an Italian short film, directed by Tyler, with like the beautiful pan flutes and the amazing, just the kalimba sounds and all that, just these cute little sounds that kind of come together and make you feel like you're in this beautiful landscape. Like I said, I was in Halifax, and this fucking project, just the composition, the way it's wrapped, tightly knit, it goes hard, but it shines in like a rose gold color. You know, it's popping champagne and getting foot rubs at the same time. It's talking about money that I ain't never seen. So like, how are you saying this is the best composition? Obviously, because Tyler the Creator composed this himself, he's a fucking goat. He's good at what he does, and every single song slaps to a degree. Like, catch me at my the crib, that's my AKA. Man, I could probably just recite some of my favorite lyrics right now, but I'm not going to. I'm going to spare you the details. You probably already listened to Call Me If You Get Lost. You probably don't think it's that good, but I think it's good, so maybe you should listen to it again and do it from my perspective. This is Pooks. I'm out.
I